turning it, and they're off. That's O.J. River out to the early lead, followed closely by Chris Gracie on Stop and Listen. As they approach the first fence, that's O.J. River with about a two-length advantage over Stop and Listen. At the far turn, that's O.J. River with a two-length advantage over Stop and Listen. Now Stop and Listen has moved up to challenge, but it's still O.J. River with about a one-length advantage over Stop and Listen. As they round the turn and head to the third fence, that's still Remy Weinitz and O.J. River in front of Chris Gracie and Stop and Listen, both over that fence safely. Those two still the same as they head to the fourth fence. O.J. River and Stop and Listen as they head up along the woods. Those two now heads apart. That's O.J. River in front by about a length over Stop and Listen as they approach the first checkpoint. They'll be required to stop and trot and then let the horse go again. Please don't lean on the trot.
Yeah, Remy's in front. Well, yeah, there are only two in this race and two in the heavyweight. O.J. River doesn't like to be in front. Now, he's no longer in front. He must have slowed himself down. I know O.J. has to stop. That's good.
Down towards us, that's Stop and Listen. O.J. River heads apart. Both over that fence. O.J. River and Stop and Listen. Now looks like Stop and Listen has picked up about a length advantage over O.J. River as they approach this next fence. Both of those horses jumping very well, heads apart. That's Stop and Listen in the white cap and O.J. River in the black cap. We've reached the second checkpoint. And they're off and running again. mentioned, those two are now heads apart as they come to the second to last fence. And Stop and Listen is now on top. That's Stop and Listen, followed closely by O.J. River. They have one fence to go. That's Stop and Listen and O.J. River. As they approach the left, that's Stop and Listen on the inside. O.J. River on the outside. That's Stop and Listen and O.J. River. Those two are heads apart as they hit the top of the straight. As they come into view, it's heads apart. It looks like O.J. River with about a hair advantage. It's O.J. River and Stop and Listen down the left. O.J. River and Stop and Listen ahead of O.J. River. They're off. After the early lead is number 5, Mogul, followed closely by Aspen, Slopes, and Ecologic. I can't tell who anybody is. As they come to the third fence, that's Ryan's Turn, followed by Ecologic. On the inside there, making up ground, was Daviel, followed closely by Ecologic, Meshed, and Ryan's Turn. Heading to the fourth fence, that's Ecologic in front, followed by Daviel. I don't have a clue who these horses are. As they head up along the woods, that's Ryan's Turn and Ecologic. Daviel and Aspen Slopes. That's still Ryan's Turn and Ecologic out in front. On top by about 3 over Ecologic, followed by Aspen Slopes and Daviel. It's still Ryan's turn in front. As they pass the judges' stand, that's Ecologic and Ryan's turn. Aspen Slopes, Daviel and Lit. As they make the right-hand turn to the coop, that's Ecologic on top. Ryan's turn in second. Aspen Slopes and then Daviel, followed by Lit. With 3 fences to go, that's Ryan's turn in front by about 2 over Ecologic. About 15 back to Daviel and another 5 back to Aspen Slopes. Those front 2 are over that fence with 2 to go. That's Ryan's turn in Ecologic. Both down over the coop. That's Ryan's turn and Michelle Hunter on top as she approaches the last, followed by Ecologic. They're both over that fence. That's Ryan's turn on top, followed by Ecologic. Daviel and then Aspen Slopes as they come to the top of the straight. That's Ryan's turn. Ecologic. Daviel. Somebody just lost all their tact. At the top of the straight, that's Ryan's turn and Ecologic. Ryan's turn as they head to the wire. That's Ryan's turn over Ecologic. And Daviel in third. And Aspen Slopes. Here comes Molly Cheshire on Lit. Harry gaining ground there. Meshed. And they're off. That's Bruno Castelli out to the early lead, followed by Dr. Poncho. They're both over the first fence, and that's Bruno Castelli in front by about 3 or 4 lengths over Dr. Poncho. Bruce Lyons and Bruno Castelli have now opened up a 10 to 15 length over Dr. Poncho. Over the second fence, that was Bruno Castelli, followed by Dr. Poncho. As they hit the third fence, that's Bruno Castelli with about a 10 length advantage over Dr. Poncho. Dr. Poncho made up ground over that fence. That's Bruno Castelli in front by about 6-7 lengths over Dr. Poncho. They were both safely over that one. The margin of the lead has been cut to about 5. It's Bruno Castelli in front followed by Dr. Poncho. As they make the forward turn out by Route 82, that's Bruno Castelli on top by about 10 over Dr. Poncho. They're both over that fence, and it's still Bruno Castelli with a commanding lead over Dr. Poncho. Over that fence, that's Bruno Castelli, followed by Dr. Poncho. As they head up to the coop, that's Bruno Castelli still with a commanding 15th lead over Dr. Poncho. As they head into the woods, that's Bruno Castelli in front with a commanding lead over Dr. Poncho. They are now back in sight, and that is still Bruno Castelli. Bruno Castelli has 3 fences to go. And here comes Dr. Poncho. That's Bruno Castelli in front with 2 fences to go. He's over that one. 1 fence to go. Bruno Castelli is up and over, and he should win this race today. Dr. Poncho is over. And here comes your unofficial winner, Bruno Castelli and Dr. Lyons. Dr. Poncho and Conrad Summers. Now official winner number 2, Bruno Castelli, owned by Waverton Farm, ridden and trained by Christopher J. Lyons, and in second, Dr. Poncho, ridden and trained by Conrad Summers. And they're off. Out to the early lead is Hyra, followed by Fogliano, Reggie, and Wild Choice. As they approach the first fence, that's Hyra, Reggie, Fogliano, and Wild Choice. They're all over the first. Wild Choice has lost rider at the first fence. And our leader is now Reggie by about 2 or 3 over Hyra, followed by Fogliano. As they turn and come to the second fence, that's Reggie on top by about 4 over Hyra, followed by Fogliano. That's Hyra and Reggie out in front, followed by Fogliano. As they make the turn for the third, that's Hyra on the inside, Reggie on the outside, and Fogliano in third. Coming to the third, that's Reggie taking up the lead again over Hyra, followed by Fogliano. They're all over that fence. That's Reggie in front by about 3. Hyra next, followed by Fogliano. Over the fourth fence, that's Reggie in front, Fogliano and Hyra. Hyra now picks up second spot again. That's Reggie in front by about 2 over Hyra, and another 2 back to Fogliano. Our expert rider, Jerry Hoover, has now picked up the loose horse. Our leaders, they head out along Route 82, is Reggie by about 3 over Hyra, another 2 back to Fogliano. Rider Jody Petty is reportedly all right. As they head down along Route 82, that's Reggie on top, followed by Hyra and Fogliano. As they come to this next fence, that's Reggie, Hyra, and Fogliano. They're all over that fence. It's still Richard Boucher on Reggie on top, Woods Wynitz on Hyra in second, and Brian Corral and Fogliano bring up third. As they come to this fence, that's Reggie, followed by Hyra and Fogliano. They're all comfortably within striking distance, but it's Reggie on top right now, followed closely by Hyra and Fogliano. As they make the turn up towards the coop. That's Reggie still with about a 2-length advantage over Hyra, and it's about a half length back to Fogliano. Fogliano. Reggie getting up there one more time as Reggie and Fogliano heads apart. They're the second to last, and they'll head downhill to the coop. That's Reggie on the inside, Fogliano on the outside. Reggie first over a length back to Fogliano and about 8 back to Hyra. They come to the last fence. That's Reggie on top by about now. Fogliano's gotten up now for the lead. That's Fogliano with the lead over Reggie. It's about Fogliano on top by about 1. It's about 6 back to Hyra. That's Fogliano at the top of the straight, followed by Reggie and Hyra. As they reach the top of the stretch, that's Fogliano and Reggie. That's Fogliano with about a 2-length advantage over Reggie, but Reggie's fighting back. That's Fogliano at the wire, followed by Reggie and Hyra. And they're off. That's Stonebuster out to the early lead, followed by Duckmore Nair and Melting. All horses are over the first fence, and that's Stonebuster with the lead, about 3 lengths over Duckmore Nair, about another 3 back to Melting. Making that far turn, that's Stonebuster on top by about 6 over Duckmore Nair and Melting. They're all safely over that fence. It's still Stonebuster in front. His lead's now about 2 over Duckmore Nair and about 4 back to Melting. As they approach the third, that's Stonebuster on top, followed by Duckmore Nair and Melting. They're all over that fence. Really? I asked and they told me Doug. That's still Stonebuster on top by about 1. I've been corrected. It's Duckmore Nair in second and about 3 back to Melting. They head up along the woods. As they make that far turn, that's still Woods Wynett on Stonebuster with about a 2-length advantage over Duckmore Nair and about 2 back to Melting. As they approach the next fence, that's still Woods Wyant and Stonebuster showing the way. Duke Warnier in second and Melding in third. Coming to this next fence, that's Stonebuster on top, Duke Warnier second. Those two just heads apart, followed by Melting. As they turn for the coupe, that is still Stonebuster on front, Duke Warnier in second and Melding in third. As they head for the woods, that's they're all over the third to last. They have two fences to go. That's Stonebuster on the inside, Duke Warnier on the outside, and Melding in third. With one fence to go, that's Stonebuster holding a slim lead over Duke Warnier. Those two are now heads apart, followed by Melding. Down the stretch they come. That's Duke Warnier on top. Brian Corral doing an excellent job to stay on in third. That's Duke Warnier with the lead as they approach the top of the street. That's Duke Warnier and Stonebuster down the stretch. That's now Stonebuster back in the lead. That's Stonebuster and Duke Warnier. Stonebuster by about one over Duke Warnier at the wire. And they're off. Out to the early lead, that's Bo, followed by Holtzman, Master Magoo, Distinct Sunrise, and Joe at 6. As they approach the first fence, that's Bo on top. They're all over that fence. As they make the forward turn, that's Kay Stewart and Bo out in front by about 3 over Holtzman. 2 back to Master Magoo, another 2 back to Distinct Sunrise, and about 4 back to Joe at 6. As they approach the next fence, that's still Bo on top, followed by a Holtzman, Distinct Sunrise, Master Magoo, and Joe at 6. As they turn and head for the third fence, that's Bo in front. Master Magoo has now moved up to take second. Alongside him is Holtzman. 2 back is Distinct Sunrise, and 2 back to Joe at 6. But that's still Bo out in front by about 3. Master Magoo and Holtzman are heads apart. 2 back to Distinct Sunrise, and now Joe at 6 is moving up. That's still Bo in front. Followed there by Holtzman, Master Magoo, Joe at 6, and Distinct Sunrise. as they head up along the woods. That's still Bo on top, but Joe at 6 has made up a lot of ground and is now in second place. Joe at 6 is now taking over the lead. That's Holtzman in second and Bo right there alongside, followed by Master Magoo and Distinct Sunrise as they head out along 82. That's Joe at 6 by about 2 over Bo, another 2 back to Holtzman, 1 back to Master Magoo, and 2 back to Distinct Sunrise. Case Stewart. Girls are really moving along. That's Bo and Joe at 6 on top. They're all over that fence. That's Joe at 6, Michelle Hunter. Bo, 3 back to Holtzman, another 2 back to Master Magoo, and a couple back to Distinct Sunrise as they approach this next fence. That's still Joe at 6 and Bo on top. They're over that one. What beautiful jumping. That's Joe at 6 on top. Bo, Holtzman now up to challenge for second. Master Magoo in third. Distinct Sunrise. They now make the right-hand turn up towards the coop. That's Joe at 6. Master Magoo on the inside. Holtzman on the outside. Distinct Sunrise and Bo. They all fly that fence. Joe at 6 and 4th and Barrow. The results are now official and a running time of 6:33:41. The winner, number 2, Holtzman, owned by Stone Valley Farm, trained by Lila Boucher and ridden by Ann Hamilton. Holtzman. And Holtzman has just retired the John Strawbridge Memorial Trophy. Excuse me, the Mary Montgomery Trophy. In second place was number 3, Master Magoo, owned and ridden by Laurie McClary and trained by Bruce Miller. In third was number 4, Distinct Sunrise, owned by Flint Straw Farm, trained by Patty Miller and ridden by Susan Sharp. In fourth, Joe at 6, owned, ridden, and trained by Michelle Hunter. And in fifth, Bo, owned and ridden by Kay Stewart and trained by Joe Cassidy.